Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. The usual special report talking about the new moon. It's going to be on Capricorn, and we're going to have kind of like a 2 weeks of strange journey that is going to be coming in with the moon. But the moon is going to be coming in right now with a lot of triggers, and those triggers is going to be repeat this year, next year, the year after, and the year after. And they're going to be connecting with this Aquarius Leo situation. And when I look at it the way it is, as far as the energy is in there, the one that is the personality growth. The other one, those actually, that is the spiritual growth. After you let it go of the material growth that you are growing at Capricorn, you are looking at these renovations. What works, what doesn't work, what can you change? And with all that energies, there are gonna be there's gonna be some triggers, but the triggers you're gonna be feeling it exactly when the moon is gonna be at 2 degrees and the sun is gonna be at 2 degrees of respectively. The sun is gonna be in Aquarius, the moon is gonna be at Leo. Look at it inside of it of those energies. There's gonna be some triggers. There's gonna be a lot of those intense energy, specifically with Jupiter. And you're going to see it in the chart in a little bit. I'm going to be going out kind of like day by day of the way the energy is going to be. I will try to make it short as possible. And if you guys have some any questions, you can actually send me an email. You can either look at it here, the email, but in a little bit is going to be way above you. I don't know which one you want. But if you want to have some any comments and so on, you can also post it below the video. All right, so let's get going up here. Here it is. Here is that new moon that is so powerful. Very great setup for the growth. Very interesting empowerment in there. Specifically, we're talking about with Uranus, the universe, and so on. Is gonna set up for the right set. The energies on the earth, there's a cardinal changes that is gonna be coming in. And the reason for those cardinal changes are coming from the North Node in Chiron. That something has to be fixed, something has to be healed, something has to be done so we can have a brighter future. But all begins with what? With in you. Why? Chiron is in areas, so is the North Node. Everything that is applied in there, it is connecting with the one self. And seeing it in those energies, you are going to be seeing it, what's going on throughout this period. There's going to be some, a lot of push from the universe. There's going to be some, a lot of energies that are going to be evolved. So stay here and I'll let you know what is going on with this. So we're talking about the next day. The moon is going to be trigger. What the issue is going to be, that's going to be a squaring towards Jupiter. Basically, it's going to be telling you, probably is watching this report, you're going to feel these energies of the growth. Something prevents you to materialistically grow in the world, in the earth. Something is restricted. And you don't like restrictions. Nobody likes restrictions because restrictions, they're creating a something. They build walls internally inside of yourself, but the restrictions are also preventing evolution. So when the personality restrictions are made, so in the society there is going to be a restrictions, and those restrictions society is not greater and good. And if you're restricting something within the society, then the rebellion is going, and that is what's going to be can trigger a lot of rebellions, a lot of going against the flow. But the flow of the restrictions are going against the restrictions. Just be mindful that when you are working with yourself, look at your own demons. Don't create new one. That is the one thing that you should be mindful about it. That energy is going to be a very good with Mars in there. The actions is going to be a proper And through Mars, your actions is gonna proving your growth. Okay, as you see it here is the moon, that blue line right here. It's going with this trine with Jupiter, and you're gonna be able with peace, with compassion, and with the right actions, which is Mars and Capricorn is in there. Some of the people who have a Mars in Capricorn, those are firefighters, policemen, special cops, and so on and so on in there. So look at it, the proper actions that you're going to do with in yourself. So in the next day, which is we talking about, this is gonna be the 13th in there. The moon is moving in the 20th degrees of Aquarius. She's gonna be squaring Uranus. That's basically the universe situations. And that is going to create the conflict that it's going to begin to rise up between the intuitions and authority of this point, because the one goes against the universe. It's like maybe the universe doesn't want this, maybe the universe doesn't want that. And that is when you're sensing your fears and manipulations. But is there's going to be this energy, is like, maybe we heal this, maybe we need to work on that. Maybe we need to go ahead and put more love in there. Where does that come from, though? As you see it here, the moon, that energy goes down into Venus, and Venus sends it back into the Chiron and the North Node. But also, the Venus has the divine energies with Uranus. That's what you have to look. Everything that you need to go on in there, instead of having a direct conflict with the universe, you have to use the love inside of yourself. See what the flavors of that energy is going to be. Those could be anything from being out there, writing, you doing something, videos. It could be that could be a something with an expression. You can painting. You can looking for new things to create that the universe is asking you for, because that's what the universe energy sends you to Venus. Very powerful, good energies that's going to be between the moon and Venus. Using that energy of intuitions is going to be telling you how to navigate those energies. So in the next day, which is the moon, is going to be with Saturn. As you see it, there is going to be a good positions. You finding limitations. You finding those energies. The angel wings are going to be at play. There's going to be a Mars. The internal warrior is going to be involved. Um, Pluto is going to be staying kind of like an neutral for right now with this energy. But in the next day, when the moon is going to be crossing more and more towards Neptune, that energy is going to begin to feel inside of it. Plus, the sun is going to be moving towards more Pluto. And the things that you need to change within the subconscious, the growth that it's there, is going to come in and rise up. But now you're learning what's stopping you on your own destiny. Probably going to find out is your fears. At the end, because the moon is going to be in Pisces, at the end, you find out that the fears is your own limitations and you. So we're talking about the next day. As I said, the moon is going to be very close to Neptune. That energies from the sun is going to come in there. Those sextile and that energies with the universe is going to come in. But you're putting the love in there. Venus is squaring the moon, and these energies can really messes you up with your head. Are you putting that love in there, or you putting what the divine is telling you? It's very interesting positions, because all those energies here with the moon and Neptune is going to go down to the Uranus, and they're going to be shifting to Venus, and Venus is setting and fixing what it needs to be done. But if you're going directly with the confrontations, that is going to be one point of calling, of self-sabotaging within the love within yourself first, and it may be leading to a sabotage within the relationship expression. And if you're expressing in a different way and your partner doesn't take it, asking yourself why. Why is that it? Also, there is as the sun is beginning to move more and more forward, We are going to have this squaring towards the north node, and those energy of the north node is going to be kind of like a very interesting in there, because you're going to find out as an authority what are you standing against old within your own self. All right. So talking about the next day, in there, this is gonna be a 16th. You see, the moon is gonna be going into Aries. Usually, when she crossed to Aries, there is kind of like desire of the new things. A lot of power of going in there. It's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna get us all this. But that's gonna be irritate Mars within yourself. Be mindful about the wars within yourself. Don't put in it towards nobody else. Okay? What you need to do is look inside of yourself the most of what you need to change and how you're reacting within the authority within yourself. Because the authority, that transformations is going to be asking you to take a new path, to take a new road. You're going to begin to feel the push of the energies of Aquarius towards it. It's like, I'm doing something wrong. I need to look and act and behave a totally different way than I've been look, act, and behave as before. Things doesn't work. Why did they don't work? And you're gonna find out that the old paradigms are shut off. All right, so talking about in the next day, very powerful day. That is gonna be evolved with a lot of with your intuitions. That's gonna be working about the way that you heading out in the future. Also, a lot of inner healing of things that you have not healed yet. Chiron has only one negative aspect. This is semi-square with Saturn. The fears. The fears of judgment, the fears of death, the fear of failure, the fear of judgment of others, mostly. But also, there's going to be a one fear that you need to overcome. And that will be the fear of not be in your own self. Because if you're true self, no one, no one will like you. And that is this energy is gonna be coming up. But when you learn to self-love yourself during that day, in there, you are gonna be overcoming and healing that, so you can move on with what you have to move on with in your life, with this. So talking about in the next day, that's gonna be a crossing, and there's gonna be this first quarter moon. That's going to be when the moon and Jupiter is going to be coming together, as you see it on your screen. They are right in here. But as you see all those energies towards the sun and Pluto, a lack of the transformations is going to lead to a lack of growth. The only way you can do that energies is doing within the proper communications, facing your own fears, facing your own situations inside. Okay, those energies, they are not gonna be really intense. They're just gonna be pushing you on a way. Because if you walk away from the path and you're walking towards thorns and so on, naturally, what are you gonna do? I don't want to walk through those thorns. I have to go back into the road. But if you don't walk through the thorns, you're not going to understand what the path is. So basically, the universe is going to send you in the right path. You may going to get smack on it of something. Something's going to happen, because in the material world, you're going to find out, oops, something is not manifesting right. Oops, something is not going the way it is. All right, so talking about it the next day, you probably learned a lesson. You continue going on the path to proper communications, proper energies are going in. The moon is listening at, the intuition is listening at the universe, and everything will be pretty much smoother. The only thing that is going to be is the Venus that's going to be only aspect that squares Neptune. That is a that, well, I want the love, but it's not the love and the money. I'm not getting the love and the money. I'm not getting this and the money, and so on and so on. some of the feminine energies, they're gonna be have to look inside of themselves. What is this all about? Because indulgence is not the love, and the only way you to find out that the indulgence is not love in there is when you are not indulged, when you are forced to seek that the love is something else. It is a affair of the soul. And some of those people is going to be learning that new way that is going to come in towards them. And that is going to be coming as soon as the moon goes back in there within Aquarius, which is going to be a lot more. But before we're talking about this, we are talking about right now about the moon. Okay. So, pretty interesting of those energies is the moon entering that next day, which is 20th. We see that beautiful trine with the sun and Pluto. You're gonna feel those shift of the age of Aquarius. I made that special video. If you haven't watched it, I suggest you to do it. But that is going to begin. The moon is sending that beautiful divine love that says, like, you need to listen to the universe and the world and be with the universe and love. Otherwise, whatever you try is not going to work. And those energies in there, they're going to be pushing it. They're going to be pushing, they're going to be transforming you. Some of you who complain about nobody loves me, look inside of yourself. You're going to find, are you loving yourself? And if you never did love yourself, that is at the moment that the moon is going to send you and says, like, yes, you have to love yourself first and the most before you're loving others. And that is going to be a very great revelations for someone. All right, so talking about the next day, which is going to be 21st, I made that report about 21st, very special date. In the next 3 years is very critical what you do. Because here on 24th, 25th, and on the 26th, and there, if you haven't watched the report yet, you're going to see that these positions there, we are going to have a lot more going on in 2 years from now. Because in 2 years from now, we are going to have a lot of family in there. We are going to have a Mars, we're going to have a Mercury, we're going to have the Venus, all packed in the same point of the sky. And at some point before that, on the 20th in 2026, we are going to have the new moon in there. And that new moon is going to be trigger and begins the age of Aquarius. You're going to get the glimpses of this, though. You're going to get in the glimpse. They are going to be coming in. But right now, what you do is you're learning that energy. Since the moon is in Gemini, is like, can we all be a friends? And talking about that friendshipness in there, it is Mars who is looking about this friendshipness. Mars is tired of all these situations. He wants peace. The warrior inside of you wants peace, but not afraid if you have to go out for a war. But please, leave your weapons outside of the bedroom. Don't put your inner fights towards others. All right, so talking about in the next day, which is that's going to be 22nd of January, the moon is going to be squaring Neptune, and Neptune is squaring Venus, so the moon is naturally opposing Venus. Your intuition is going to be coming, it's going to be triggering of these situations, but all has a purpose. And that purpose is about the North Node. You got to be friendly with what it's coming towards you. You have to be learning there instead of having the fights. And your own visions cannot be visions from within you, but visions that are coming from above. And you're learning how to cooperate with those energies. You basically learn it how to do it. And talking about it the next day, it's all about family. You're understanding that. You learn it. Probably you're already learning some of these things. If you have not learned, you probably will. We're talking about that the moon, it's going to be trinic Saturn, it's going to be sextiling Jupiter, and it's going to complete that cycle of growth and learn in the family. But at the same time, that energy is going to be opposing Mercury and later on Mars, which is they are both right now going to be squaring the North Node and Chiron. This can put a lot of pressures in there, especially for those who's like, I cannot do this. I'm not mature. I don't know about it. I didn't get about it. Oh, you know how to do it. You're just afraid to do it. And there's going to be this power of the moon that's going to be like, you'll be all right. You're going to do it fine. You're going to learn. Everyone has learning this in life. And the more you escape of that learning, the more you are not going to grow. But the growth always going to be asking you to grow. The evolution is always going to asking you to evolve. And that it's coming with this Jupiter Saturn sextile and all these energies connecting within the moon. The moon, who is the ruler of Cancer, it's home, and it's going to be requiring a cardinal changes. So talking about the next day, the moon, it's moving through Cancer. That's going to put even more pressure of Mars in there, as you see those red lines up here. You may have to heal old family patterns. You may have to look at it inside. Are you the cop that stay away from the family and devoting to the service of public? Are you that masculine energies that has to do the right things or creating the perfect balance? And there's gonna be a balance. There is a balance. There is always a balance. The question is are you gonna choose the counterbalance? Those intense energies that are going to be coming in from the moon and there as the family to continue goes on and on and on. Who can counterbalance it? It's the universe. The universe always somehow, some way, find its way to balance this. And if you look at it, those energy, Uranus is a very good trine with Mercury and Mars, but that energy it is sextiling with the moon. So instead of having all those fights, instead of having this, the proper actions and the base of communications, they're going to leading to your proper growth within. Are you going to be tested on that growth? Of course you will. Of course you will. Here's your growth test right there. That is going to be that full moon that's going to be at Leo. We talk about that energies a lot within there. That's going to be divine energies with Venus, who has to grow. Venus has to grow. Who else has to be with those energies? And if you look, that squaring with Jupiter, with the Sun, is as the Moon has been growth, as the feminine energies has been growth, as the authority has been growth. But if you look at it more deeply within a spiritual side within this, have you been growth within the age of Aquarius energies so you can handle them? Because when the new energies comes in and they put this intensity inside of you, can you be able to handle it? And if you cannot handle it, you're going to learn how to handle it. Because that growth that it's going to be triggered from the moon, that it's going to be at Leo, which is going to be in that personal level, in that physical realm. It's that fifth house, the kids. It's going to have to face the 11th house, the beginning of this charge of innovations inside of yourself that you know what to do, which is Aquarius. You understand everything that goes from all the way from Aries to Capricorn to do the proper work. You understand it, the work and the process, but you're right now the innovator. You reinvent, reinnovate yourself. And by doing that, you renovate the society. And that will be the report. And hopefully, this report helps you guys. And if you just have any comments, questions, or concerns, please post it down below in the video. Thank you so much for watching. Be love. Be love.